Hey there, I'm Eric Tennant, and this is the Redodo 48V 100AH battery. This is a monster of a battery. It has 5,120 watt hours capacity. The battery is able to put out 100 amp discharge, and it's able to take a charge of 100 amp, which is highly impressive from me coming from the e-bike world anyways. This is a lithium-ion battery, so instead of like lithium-ion, which you get in the e-bike world, which you have like 300 to 500 charge cycles, this battery here has, well, they claim up to 4,000 charge cycles on it, which is highly impressive. You could charge and discharge this thing every day for the next 10 years. And then, yeah, after the 4,000 charges, that's when it starts showing it's degraded. So yeah, you got these convenient handles placed on the sides, and these are definitely needed because the battery weighs a little over 82 pounds. And the size of this unit with handles is 20.5 inches by 10.5 inches by just over 8.6 inches tall. Also, being lithium iron, unlike lithium ion, which is in the e-bike world, its tendencies to burn things down are less often. It's just about as dangerous as anything that is electrical. So yeah, you don't want to put the positive and negative together. That'll still make sparks. There's no way to avoid that kind of safety hazard when it comes to batteries. But unlike lithium ion, say something does short out in the battery is not going to turn into a giant torch that the fire department has to come and put a blanket over and bury it in sand. And it still would be an issue, but more smoke, less flames. This battery is waterproof and has an IP rating of 65, which means it can take some sprays and some light rain, but I wouldn't necessarily throw it into the ocean or anything. That would be not quite that level of waterproof. They didn't give any kind of depth on it. I really wish they would start using the term water resistant. The battery does come with low temperature protection, so if you're one of my Canadian watchers or somebody that lives up in the mountains, it's definitely an important feature because you don't want to charge lithium iron when it's down below freezing. Otherwise, you could damage the battery. It's just really not productive. Usually it's best to have it a little bit warmed up beyond that. That said, this unit does not come with a battery heater in it. You can purchase separate battery heaters to go around the outside to keep them to a proper temperature. But if you live somewhere cold, you probably know more about that than I, because, well, I live in the middle of the desert and it's like a friggin' oven here. One cool thing about this battery is the kit does come with the shunt. However, with the app, you don't actually need it. So the app will show you the SOC, or the state of charge, the amount of power that you're pulling, or it'll also give you an amps, and the remaining capacity of the battery, which that's very nice. I do wish one upgrade they would add to it would be watt hours. I like to see the total amount of hours pulled through, but I know the capacity is basically the same thing. So potato. One of the very helpful things I did find on this app is here you got a bunch of like life cycles. You got the temperature of the battery. It's sitting at 25C here, but under device controls, this is a very cool one here. It's called the discharge function. And I find this very helpful because when hooking up the battery, it is quite a bit of amps and you'll get quite a large spark. Almost damages a post a little bit there. You can just turn the battery off while you're working on it. It makes it much more safer until you get some kind of breaker or something put in there where you can turn it off. And then when you're done working on it, you can turn it back on, and if that doesn't work, you can use the charger. We'll wake the battery back up at that point. Don't mistake, up here at the top, there is a button. It looks like the on-off switch. That just turns the Bluetooth on and off. I mistaken that at first. Thought, why is it not working? And then went deeper into the battery info and device control and found the actual power button there. The battery itself is pretty straightforward. It comes with 2 carrying straps, which I find really convenient when picking this battery up because, yeah, it does weigh 82 pounds. And then it has the 2 connections on it, the positive and the negative terminal. Both of them are M8 posts. And that's it for the whole battery. So the battery can be bought as a standalone unit, or it comes with a kit. I didn't happen to have a charger that was able to charge this size of the battery, so I went ahead and had them send me the kit out. So it comes with a 18 amp hour battery charger, which is perfect. That comes out to around 1,000 watts, which stays within most standard home plug-ins of 15 amps. This charger is also waterproof. I don't recall exactly what its IP rating is, but it's going to go into this kind of the same category where it's going to be able to take splashes from a hose, pretty much a hose running on it, like dust, things like that. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily throw it into the water. It may be all right for a second, but yeah, it's meant for if you left it out charging, say, your golf cart. If it started raining, it's not going to be a big deal. It has a little fan to cool it off. Everything's isolated in it. And then it also comes with this plug here, which it's a nice plug, nice and heavy duty. It pretty much plugs together like so, and then screws together nice and secure. So if you wanted to add this to, like, say, the outside of the RV or the outside of the golf cart, it makes a nice place to add the socket. And then of course it comes to two standard terminals. These fit the M8s perfectly, but not on the shunt, unfortunately. So if you want to measure it, you will have to put a new lug on the end of this to go over the shunt, because it's a much larger size than the M8. So this is the shunt here. It'll show you things like your SOC, state of charge. So you get a percentage on your battery and how many amp hours are left. And then when you're charging it, it'll add back into the percentage and amp hours. You got your basic shunt here, which is fairly easy to connect. You connect the data wire, the positive wire, to there, and then the negative cable basically links into this system, and then you're able to get your shunt reading out for it. I did some of my tests using this, but later on I went going with a different shunt because I wanted the watt hours with it. Just for a capacity test, I wanted to measure it. But this is definitely a nice shunt, nice and heavy duty. The screen looks like they dug it out of the 80s somewhere. It's a little hard to read. These companies definitely could start upgrading their screens. But like I said, the Bluetooth is perfect. I won't even be adding the shunt into the system, which that'll be a later video where I'm going to actually be powering this whole studio off of it, more of a permanent basis. All right, so on to the part everybody's been waiting for, the charge and discharge test. So the results are in. The charge test showed 102 amp hours, which is 2 amp hours above what they claimed. The discharge test ended up showing that the battery has 5,320 watt hours capacity in it, which is awesome. It's above what they claimed. They claimed 5,120, so that's 200 watts over the claimed amount. The Redodo battery, not to be confused with Redodo, they're a little bit sensitive with that, comes with a 5-year warranty. Redodo 48V 100AH battery can be purchased using my discount code right now for $736. And if you're looking for the kit with the shunt and the battery charger, normally that one would run $919, but with my discount code, it'll run $846, which is, I mean, these batteries are coming down fast over the years. I was looking at these a couple years ago and they were more than double easy. So if you're looking to purchase one of these Redodo 4800AH batteries, that'll help me out a lot. If you use this QR code down over here, I get a little bit of commission then. Or you can use the links down in the description. So don't forget the coupon code ERIC8, and that'll save you 8% from anything off of the Redodo site. So stay tuned for where I take this battery, and I'll basically be running this whole room off of it, which consists of 2 computers and the internet and a smart house controller. I'll be using the smart house to kind of play strategic games with my power company, since they like to play games with the bill. Thanks, APS. Anyways, my name's Eric Tennant, Until next time, you'll see me.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.
I say tomato, and you say tomato. I say
Redodo,
and you say
Redodo.
yeah.